Therefore, the MCA should be allowed to perform their duty of impeaching him. So that public participation that was initiated by County Assembly in itself, in many places said, unless the deputy governor is prepared to go and kneel before the First Lady, he should be impeached. And we are saying we are not under an obligation to have to kowtow to the wife of the governor. Now, I would like also to invite you to page At page 36, there is another output of the public participation. This is, my apologies. Volume 1, the governor's, the Assembly's bundle, Volume 1, page 36. There are input from a place called Masimba Ward. In that Masimba Ward, it is said, no members of public were at the venue when the secretariat arrived. And so there was no product of the public participation. However, and this will be our case, that there has been a continuous generation, fabrication of documents and material to incriminate the deputy governor. If you look at the letter from there's a letter dated 8th of March. I'm afraid probably the honorable members might not have this, but this is a letter dated 8th of March written to Honorable Robert Onsare Monda, telling him, come and defend yourself. It is written by one of your staff members, one Tekaya Ogoso. And he says, some of the people who you will need to come and respond to at page 3 is a gentleman by the name Muse Shamba from Masimba Ward. So you have public participation report from the county saying nothing happened here. But you suddenly have somebody who has been set up to come and say, this is what Masimba Ward is saying. And we are saying this is part of the long and false fabrication of material to incriminate the deputy governor. For those reasons, Honorable Senate and Mr. Speaker, sir, we pray that you do not expunge that paragraph 48 to the end, and that probably at this point I should just move on to the preliminary objection and then call it a day. Now, Mr. Speaker, sir, unlike my colleagues, Mr. Speaker, sir, I pray for just a few more minutes. Could I request for about 20 minutes, please? Kindly.
No, I'll give you a further 15 minutes. 15.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. Did you say 50? Now, Mr. Speaker, sir, unlike my colleagues, you will see at page, the Deputy Governor's bundle, we have at page C, this ABCD, the first part of it, we have come out very clearly and said we will be raising a preliminary objection. And I would like to prosecute that preliminary objection and collaterally respond to the preliminary issue raised by my colleagues. In that preliminary objections, Mr. Speaker, sir, I have made reference to your I've made reference to the third schedule being your rules of procedure on impeachment, and those rules state to the effect that I have particular reference to Rule 14, Rule 20, and Rule 30. Rule 14 says any preliminary question or issue raised by the County Assembly or by the Governor shall be argued, and so on. And then at Rule 20, which is where I really want to place a lot of investment on, Rule 20. Rule 20 states, in presenting its evidence, the Assembly shall not introduce any new evidence that was not part of the allegations against the Governor by the County Assembly as forwarded by the Speaker of the County Assembly to the Speaker of the Senate. Now, honorable members, that section creates three thresholds. The first one, is that it targets the county assembly. It doesn't target the subject of the impeachment. It doesn't say governor or deputy governor cannot introduce new evidence. It says the assembly shall not introduce new evidence. I pray, Mr. Speaker, sir, that the new evidence introduced to this assembly by the county after the close of the proceedings of the 29 be expunged from the record, and we limit our case to what was presented to the assembly. So the first issue is that it is a prohibition on the assembly. Number two is that it prohibits new evidence. Number three, it's that it prohibits new allegations. And number four is that the limit is what were the conversation between the Speaker of the County Assembly and the Senate Speaker. Now, for purposes of determining that preliminary objection, we would be making reference to the letter dated 1st March 2023, being the letter written by the Speaker of the County Assembly to the Speaker of the Senate. And in that letter, at page 7 to page 8, they have listed the items that the Honorable Speaker read at the start of these proceedings, being the notice of motion, votes and proceedings, the order paper, and so on and so forth. However, when the letter was being written to the Deputy Governor, asking him to defend himself by a letter dated 8th of March, the contents of what the Speaker of Kisii County Assembly had forwarded to the Senate was changed completely. We have a new case completely. In the new document page, it has 3 pages. They have introduced the other one has about 20 documents. Even document number 20 is excluded. This new one has 24 documents. And if we are being faithful to the wording of that Rule 20, that there should be no new allegations, there should be no new evidence, and it should be limited to what the speakers brought from Jen Bonareri, Mushe Samba, James Orenge, David Obiri, Che Mombasa, Fred Anyona. It asks us to also to respond to a report of public participation, which we have never seen. We are seeing it for the first time. We are looking at those flash discs for the first time as we come before you. It asks us to respond to contentions from David Akai. It asks us to respond to Gladys Aminga. And we are saying all these things were not part of what was in the County Assembly and what we responded to. And so, Mr. Speaker, sir, members of the Assembly, we will be praying that you make a determination of the very substantive issues to this effect. Number one, whether a case that was determined at the County Assembly can mutate so that by the time it is reaching here, it is a different case from what was at the County Assembly, or you receive it as an escalation and limited to what was done at the County Assembly. And whether you have original jurisdiction then to entertain a question of impeachment. Because in the flash, it is alleged that the Deputy Governor received some money, 20,000 from this person, 5,000 from this person, and that's not a case we have had an opportunity to respond to. The gentleman by the name Akai, who against whom the summons are being asked, is being asked to produce the summons, says, I was told by the ward administrator that this happens. Hearsay, first of all. But the second thing is, it is not an issue that we had an opportunity to respond to. And for those reasons, then, we pray that the new evidence introduced be expunged, and we have particular reference to the contents of paragraph 14, paragraph 22, paragraph 23, paragraph 24, and paragraph 25 of the letter from your Directorate of Legal Affairs, which changes the case from what the Speaker said. Now, in that same letter, the Directorate of Legal Affairs also says that please also find a letter from Mr. Ndegwa, which now brings new case. And we are saying, what is the wording of that Rule 20? It says, what the Speaker communicated to the other one. When did Ndegwa become...
Counsel, that letter you're referring to?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Oh,
sorry. Actually, that one I can show
contained in a volume.
Yes, may I show you who?
Kindly direct the honorable senators to the volume and to the page.
Yes, it is the County Assemblies Bundle, Volume 1, page 336, please. 336. Yes, 335. It's the last page, actually. It's practically the last page on the bundle, this bundle here, Volume 1. And honorable members, even as you look at that letter, please allow me, I know you might not have this letter which was written to Dr. Monda telling him to come and defend himself, but allow me to just read the first paragraph. It says this: the Speaker of the Senate on 2nd of March 2024 received communication dated 1st March 2024